But Crash 1 I've been doing a lot lately. So I wanted to give some other games some love over the past couple of days. So have not been doing that one as much. I've not been doing that one as much lately. I'll definitely take a 109. I'll definitely take a 109 in Crash 1. That is not bad. Definitely doing pretty well, Wraithe. I'm glad you're doing good as well. I have few complaints. Today is a good day. What's up, Cannon? How are you doing? What'll happen if you keep pressing X button after defeating Cortex? Nothing. You basically lose control of Crash after that point, and then you'll be able to, excuse me. You basically lose control of Crash at that point, and it'll just go to the credits. So nothing special happens. 104 without loads? Okay. Yeah, I definitely screwed up on levels like that a lot in my first runs too, Cameron. But hopefully, as long as you're having fun with it, you know, that's what matters. And that time will definitely go down. After I bust a barrel, I go bust a nut. That is a quote, Mikula. That is definitely a quote. I love it. That's good to hear, Cam. I definitely did not expect to have as much fun with the Insane Trilogy as I have. Like, this has been so awesome. Yo, what's going on, Pander Sarah? I run on a regular PS4 with no modifications to the hard drive. So basically as standard gets. How are you doing, by the way? Oh, there's a clip of it too? Yo, link me up. Whisper me a link to that. I would definitely love to hear it. Well, it's good to post it here so everybody else can see. But for me to look at it, it'll definitely have to be a whisper, because I will definitely lose it in chat as time goes on. Your voice is beautiful, Bucket. Come on. Come on. Is there a difference between the standard PS4 and the Slim version? As far as load times go, the Slim is a little bit faster. It's pretty marginal. The main difference in load times and performance comes with the PS4 Pro. PS4 Pro loads a lot faster than a standard PS4. It doesn't matter for the leaderboard, but you know, your real time, like your splits, are gonna look faster, even though your time might not actually be as fast when you remove the loads from somebody else who runs on a standard PS4. Which game do I think is the best? I still think I like Crash 1 the best in the Insane Trilogy. It feels like it's the most improved game. And I would say that I like Crash 1 the most. I would say that my order of precedence for running the games and which ones I like kind of goes from Crash 1 to 3 and then 2. But but it doesn't mean that I don't like 2. You know, I think that the gap between each of them as far as enjoyment goes is pretty small. I died toward the very end of the boss battle gimmick. I got kind of owned by the rapid fire purple rays in the second to last pattern. I probably did something silly to get myself into a spot where I'd be jumping into a purple thing. So it's definitely a bummer, you know, like you don't want to lose a minute of time that way, but it's easy time save for next time, and we're still coming out ahead into Crash 2, which is what we need. You know, the main thing, one of the things that will help us a lot to beating this record is to get a good Crash 1. You know, just save time in Crash 1, and that would be very helpful, because although I do have time to save in Crash 2 and 3, it's not as much as Crash 1. Yo, Jacko, what's happening, man? I am doing very well today, and hopefully you are too. But yeah, the world record incoming is a little bit early to say. It is. We haven't got, I think, definitely at least a couple hours before we can really say whether or not it's actually happening. Indeed, Celephia. Thankfully, we don't need it. The only gem that I can't figure out how to avoid in this game is Cold Heart Crash. I have no idea how to jump around it at the end of the death route. Yo, Mavrosa, how's it going? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, his time, Cameron, was the time that he beat my record with a little while ago. So, whoops. Because like I got a like 338 with loads, and then he got the 330, and I was like, oh man. I knew I could work and beat it, but I was like, you know, that was a huge bop at that point, and we were able, and that was the time that I had to beat to get the record back, and you know, now we're basically working on trying to improve it and put some distance on the field, so to speak. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I could get away with not holding jump for as long. Definitely can't think that way in the Insane Trilogy, because you will end up having your jump be short. Does it still trigger the video log thing if you collect the other gem? If you have a Cortex cutscene that's triggered at the same time as a Brio cutscene, then I don't think so. But if you don't have a cutscene that gets triggered after a certain, you know, if you don't have two cutscenes being triggered at the same time, then the Brio cutscene, I think, will appear. So we'll probably end up having a Brio cutscene to skip after Cold Heart Crash, because I still don't know how to get past that gem, if it's even possible. It really is, Broopies. It keeps things juicy, you know. It definitely is interesting. That's fair, Mikula. At the end of the day, you know, staying speedrunning and having fun with it, no matter what game you're playing, is the most important part. So I definitely hope that with your new equipment that you'll be able to speedrun more and speedrun better. Yo, Robster, what's happening, man? That pizza looks good, by the way. Not gonna lie. Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Dang, I was ruined by a little hiccup there. Wouldn't it be better to collect the gem? Not necessarily, because either I get the cutscene there, or I get the cutscene somewhere else. Because I do hang 8 second, there isn't another cutscene. So, it's either I get the cutscene there or I get it later, and I lose an extra couple seconds to an extra crash cutscene where he takes the gem out and goes like, "Yay, I did it!" So you end up still losing time. Yeah, exactly, Mikula. If we had our own Dragon Ball Z, that's how it would be. That's how it would be titled. I think I might actually have pizza today. We have some leftover pizza as a stream snack, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. That is actually awesome. Awesome emotes you got there, Celephia, I must say. I think sometimes it can go the other way, Zekro. But for the most part, yeah, like the competition is friendly and it's cool. Like people push each other to go faster and faster, and there is really an awesome sense of community with speedrunning in general. Yo, Mafe, what's up? How you doing? What's happening, Cam? And Nettrex, how are you guys doing as well? Dang, well, hopefully we can help you out with that, Cam. Hopefully we can help you feel a little bit better. I do, Robster. That much has not changed. Is it pizza? Is it pizza or is it pizza pizza? Or is it pizza pizza pizza? Cheese is better than pizza? I mean, cheese is a part of pizza, though, so cheese makes pizza better. So, yes, I agree. I mean, it is Dragon Ball Super, Colin, but it's more fun to say on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, because that's what everybody remembers. And nobody forgets the Frieza saga. Where it was literally on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z, will something happen? And sometimes it just didn't. There we go. And get a pizza shirt. Those are, I really don't like them. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like really vulgar like t-shirts. I don't know if I could wear a pizza shirt in good conscience. Unless I was feeling in a certain type of mood, maybe. I gotta be feeling right. Oh, yes, you can. If you slide into the mud, Cameron, if you then start slide spinning, so like if you slide into the mud and then spin and then start chaining slide spins together, you can actually slide spin through the mud. If you get stuck though, or if you mess up your inputs, then you will be stuck in the mud and you'll have to just go through it normally. Yo, nice, Netrex. I'd be feeling pretty good about that too. Depends on what kind of draft, Mr. Tomo. If we're talking Hour Devastation or we're talking Flashback or Cube. Exactly, the Krusty Krab pizza. It is the pizza for you and me, after all. Oh, stinky cheese? Oh, my girlfriend loves stinky cheese. She's like, the stinkier the better. And like, the stinkier and stronger the better. Pretty much, Sarah. Pretty much. It says pizza. Does it actually have like a peace sign with pizza on it? Or does it just have the text? What is your favorite Disney movie? It's pretty close between Aladdin and The Lion King. I would have to say the Lion King is a narrow favorite. I would say that much. What's going on, Frenchie? I mean, it is weird, and I definitely have made the mistake before of going into the center platform and trying to go up and then realizing I can't. But honestly, I think it's fine. I honestly don't have much of a problem with that, especially after I got used to it. I kind of prefer it that way. It makes it really clear how you get to the boss battle. It makes it very, very clear. Yo, Storm, how's it going? Your Pirates of the Caribbean is your favorite Disney movie. That's an answer that, like, nobody will expect. Okay, so I didn't actually, I didn't actually mean to trigger Coco there. I mean, she's awesome, but unfortunately, she loses time. Oh, I see, Callie. That seems like a pretty cool shirt, not gonna lie. Yeah, like I said, Aladdin is definitely, like, awesome. It's, like, almost my number one. But The Lion King just has that, The Lion King just has that something, you know, that kind of grips you. Yo, Juyo, how's it going? Thanks for the good luck. Hope you're doing awesome today, man. Uh-oh. I hit that a little too early. It'll end up being fine, but, oops. It'll end up being fine, but it's nice to have that extra insurance with the, with invincibility there. Got a new PB earlier? Nice, man. Congratulations. And a rank up, I see. What's the new time, what's the new time with loads? Alright, cool. There we go. No, I would love to, Celephia, but it is slower to switch to Coco, and there's not a benefit, unfortunately. You want to do an Hour Devastation draft? Our Devastation seems like a really awesome set. Like, it seems like standard is good. Like, there's a lot of interesting new cards that have come out. Like, the draft format seems pretty cool. It definitely looks really awesome. Yeah, Robin Williams is fantastic in Aladdin, but he's just kind of fantastic anyway. Coco is useful in warped runs when you need to switch characters, because some levels require Crash, some levels require Coco. And basically, the game will force you to switch to Crash or Coco as appropriate, and they will change you back afterwards, which is kind of weird. So basically, to avoid that, when the level's being staged and the loading and the orb basically appears, if you manually switch to Crash or Coco while entering the portal, you can skip that entire animation of being forced to switch characters. And you actually skip 2 animations because there's one entering a level and then one exiting. So that's pretty cool. 105.24, nice, man. I know for me, I'm still trying to get the 107 or 106. So 105 is definitely like the next level for me, which is pretty cool. Bought a new digital keyboard. When you say digital keyboard, what do you mean by that? Yo, nice, Mikula. Did you get the record back in that category, or did you get a record in a different game? A faster way to defeat Pinstripe? Is that where you're able to basically hit him 3 times instead of having to wait? Because I don't actually know how to do that. I've heard it's possible, but I don't know like what the strat is. I don't think Coco plays differently at all. I think like they have different animations. They have different animations and character models, but their performance is basically the same. I think there's a very negligible difference between the two across all 3 games. Oh, a mini keyboard. I was thinking like computer keyboard, and I was like, wait a second. I was confused for a moment. That's awesome though. I know I would definitely like to have a MIDI keyboard if I got back into music production at some point. That actually sounds a lot more complicated than I thought. I'll have to take a look at that. I'll take a look at that later on. It blocks slightly more of the screen. I personally haven't really had a problem with that, but I could see how that would annoy somebody. So like I can totally understand, even though for me, you know, it's not really a big deal. Yo, thanks for the good luck, Cyrus. How's it going, man? Big stretch. You just have to write out the character until you have to change again. Exactly. Do I have a man cave? I guess my stream room is kind of the man cave. It's not really a man cave. You know, it's not really like a place I escape to, but it's kind of like my own space. So you could probably call it a man cave. Got it back in the same category 40 minutes later. Nice. That reminds me of when Cheese got the 139.57 in Mario 64 120 star, and then Punkay beat his 139. He got like a 139.40 something, and then not even a day later, Cheese got the 139.27, 139.20 something, which is still the world record to this day. And I thought it was really funny how, like, Punkay, you know, Cheese has the world record for a really long time. Punkay gets it back, and then Cheese immediately bops him back. And this is for SM64, which is a humongously optimized game. So the fact that Cheese was able to beat the record so quickly after Punkay got it back was actually really impressive to me. Indeed it is, Sika. Definitely hope to keep it that way. Your man cave is your gym? That's good though. Your man cave keeps you fit. That's awesome. That's kind of pulling double duty there. What's up, Keo SZ? How are you doing? Need motivation for what exactly? Dude, I would be too. I would definitely be too, Juio. It feels good to PB regardless, but moving on up and moving into, you know, the top 3 or kind of breaking into that next level definitely feels really awesome too. Yeah, his Twitter response was awesome. purple rupees. It was so funny. Because now you can see how to do it, Ecdysis. Definitely. It's a 139.26, something like that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, you know, to see how far Crash 1 can keep going down. Pretty much all the Insane Trilogy games, but Crash 1 in particular. It'll be interesting to see how much more the time can be worked down. Yo, Volky, what's going on, dude? How you doing? The run goes pretty well so far. Hopefully we can keep it that way, but so far so good. How are you doing, by the way? Easily Crash 1 can go under 50. I agree with that. I think it could. Someone can pull off both glitches in one try. That's true. There is the boost. There is the boost in Slippery Climb. I totally forgot about that. Well, he already got the 139 a while ago, and then Punkay got a better 139, and then she's got a better 139 than that, and that's where the record is currently. So like a mid 139 is the record, but the 139 has been had for a few months. Painted it orange and put a picture of Arnie on the wall. There you go. Probably from the Pump and Iron days, no less, Cyrus. I mean, my man cave, if we're really dreaming, would probably have a home studio as well, Netrix. I still have it. I still have it, Volky. I haven't beaten this time yet, but I still have it. Tasking a PS4 is not possible. I guess like emulation still is not very good for PS4s. That would definitely be a limitation. It wasn't there originally, Purple Rupees. It was actually taken out of it was actually taken out of the game, like or it wasn't included in the game, and then they added it back in, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like they actually manually added it later. There's basically a boost you can do, Jacko. You could, if you damage abuse a certain way in Slippery Climb on a certain surface, and you spam X, you can actually make Crash just fly up the level really quickly, and that allows you to ascend. That actually allows you to do the ascent in Slippery Climb very fast. So basically, you just skip a majority of it. Yeah, the bedroom ends up being most people's man caves, but when you have a house, you know, to yourself or with a significant other, oh, that's cute. Then you can kind of really have a true man cave, which is awesome. Yeah, that would be interesting. I think if the game does come on PC, that would be very interesting to see how modding works, or you know what that would actually do to the game. You know, both casually and from a speedrun perspective. Am I going to stream this in 50 years? That would be awesome if I was still streaming. If I was still streaming, period, in 50 years. Let alone if I was still able to stream Crash Bandicoot. Talk about a legacy. I guess it's still like pretty new territory, Zekro, so it probably, you know, that probably makes it harder for that kind of thing to be figured out. Yeah, the insane trilogy will be out in 50 years. Maybe an insane trilogy, because if we go by every 20 years, there'll probably be another insane to add to that. Hardest fight in the game right here? Actually, I think this is easier than the original Crash 2. It's definitely tricky, but I don't find it like super hard this time around. Like the boss fight goes much more quickly, honestly. On Twitch 42.0. Dude, could you imagine? Forgot the Kappa. Forgot the Kappa, Cameron. But I can see how that boss battle would be challenging, though. Like, it is hard at first when you don't know, like, what they're doing or what's going on. The Intense trilogy. I like that, Storm. I definitely do like that idea. Okay. Let's do Sewer later first. Because we already have 2 masks. I was wondering if somebody would get that purple rupees. Yeah, engine fight is definitely the hardest one. Especially in Insane Trilogy. And yo, thanks, Jacko. Definitely feeling good about that gold split. Did I even need to jump there? I don't know, actually. I do not know about that, as a matter of fact. Oh man, I think I jumped too early. You can bring mass into the engine fight? You can, and you can bring them out of the engine fight as well, which is really cool. I definitely like to have a mask. I definitely like to have a mask in the engine boss fight because it makes me feel a little bit better going into the last phase. And I like to take a mask out of it because if I can take 2 masks out of the boss battle and we're living the dream, then that allows me to basically go right into piston it away and get 3rd mask form. But taking a mask out allows me to get through piston it faster. So overall, it still helps. All right, sounds good, Callie. We'll see you in a little bit. And what's happening, Gabeth? I'm doing awesome, man. Glad to hear you're doing fine. That's good, that's good, that's good. What's up, Christ Lives? How you doing? Do I think any new Crash games will be created? Crash Team Racing Remaster is probably, hopefully with online multiplayer, is probably the most likely next step. I think they'll probably want to do at least another 1 or 2 remakes to kind of gauge interest in Crash Bandicoot before they release a new game, because it's very risky to release a new game like Crash Bandicoot in today's market. A remaster is good because the original games were good and people will buy it because of the nostalgia, but for the business people, it is risky to make a new game because you know 90s platformers have not aged as well, you know, and like people don't buy them as much as they used to. Yo, Generic Streamer, thank you for the host, by the way. I do appreciate it. How's it going, and how was your stream? And welcome everybody coming in from Generic Streamer's stream. Hope you guys are doing awesome as well. That was, yeah, that was the thing that happened. It's okay though. We don't actually need invincibility for the rest of the warp room. The only level where it's really important is Sewer later. No, that was a really bad jump. Ugh, that was the pussy jump. Yo, glad to hear you're doing well though, Gabeth. That is a good, that is a good thing to hear. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to say because like I think Microsoft just needs to figure out like what they want to do with the Xbox. Like, do they want to just go all in on PC or do they want to still try to split the difference? You know, and there's not really any way of knowing what they're gonna do down the line. That was an interesting body slam, but at least I didn't body slam like on one of those disappearing platforms because that would have been very bad. Probably Nintendo and Sony. I don't see them going anywhere. I don't see Sega coming back. Microsoft might be there, but I don't know. No, I don't think the new games are going to be DLC. I think especially for CTR, they're probably going to have to do a separate game. That would make the most sense to me, Zekro. A bit of a quiet stream. Sometimes that happens, you know? And sometimes quiet streams can still be fun, though. But yeah, as long as it was a good time, then that's what matters. When men were men and platforming was actually platforming. And people walked uphill in the snow both ways. Well, they're not going to make consoles, is what I mean, Zekro. Sega will still make games, and they'll still make good games. But they're not going to be in the console market. After what happened with the Saturn and the Dreamcast getting totally eclipsed by Sony. I definitely don't see that happening again. Whoa, okay. Really wanted to make sure I didn't hit the nitros there, because having this backup mask is really nice in Plant Food. Otherwise, there is a lot of potential time loss. At least they released sales figures. Well, I'll admit that Microsoft definitely did pretty well in the last generation. Like, the Xbox 360 was the console to have, I think, back in the PS3 360 days. But definitely the PS4 has done amazing compared to the Xbox One. Okay, so yeah, apparently you can't boost after you get hit by that particular piranha plant. It's very weird. That's good, generic streamer. Do you know how far you are in Lufia? Yo, what if Atari came back though and just like crushed it? That would be awesome. Sounds good to me, Juio. Well, maybe not the fart. The fart might be going a little too far. But yeah, definitely the eclipse for real. What's happening, Vrinorg? I skipped the yellow gem because it's an any percent run, so we don't need it. And there's an extra cutscene of Crash basically awarding himself the yellow gem after the level. So you save a couple seconds by going around gems like that at the end of the level if you can avoid it. I personally don't know how to avoid the Cold Heart Crash gem, so that's like the one gem that we end up picking up, which isn't necessary. But like Hang 8, Plant Food, like any levels where there's a gem like immediately in your way, you just skip them. Yeah, Sony's killing it with the PS4. Like they definitely nailed it this time around for sure. The Switch is doing well too, but like the Switch just has a supply problem. Like a lot of people want Switches, and I feel like there aren't enough of them on the market. Oh, that was a pun? Oh. I totally missed that. I had no idea the hidden meaning. That's good to hear, Storm. There's definitely no shortage of awesome games and exclusives on the PS4 as well. So that says a lot. Ah, that was dumb. I should have been more careful. That's okay though. Is any percent the most popular category? It definitely is. Any percent runs tend to be more popular for the Crash games than 100% runs because they're easier to get into. So more people end up running it in general because of that reason. 100% is not very well developed at this point. So like there are some people working on some of the 100% categories. Some people are kind of in split camps as to which categories they want to do as well. Some people like to do Crash 1 all gems. Some people like to do Crash 2 100% as opposed to 102%. Some people want to do Crash 1 105, which is the max percent. Some people want to do, you know, there are plenty of different categories and kind of subcategories for 100% that really have not existed before in Crash as well. So that's where you see some people split, and reason why some of those categories are not as well developed either. Like any percent is any percent, and that's pretty cut and dry. But 100% is still kind of it's more not more segregated, but it's more like split up. You know, people tend to have their preferences. A shortage on the components for the memory, so like they have a supplier, I guess, that has a shortage of stuff that they need. Worried about overstocking the consoles. I mean, I could see that happening, Storm, if they made too many Wii U's and they just had a bunch of Wii U's that never sold, because that would suck for sure. But I'm not sure what happened with the Wii U, if they made enough Wii U's or if they made too much, or you know how that worked out. The Nintendo figures only count the Wii U. Do they not have sales figures for the Switch? That's why RAM is super expensive right now. Interesting. I guess maybe is it like a raw material sort of thing then, Pandemic, or do most like RAM companies use like the same like distributor or something? Like I know there's a supply shortage somewhere, but I don't really know exactly like where it is. That would be good to know if possible. Regardless, if you don't have RAM and you need RAM, or if you have extra RAM, now is the time to sell. Yo, what's going on, Taro? I am actually running against PB slash Reki. We're not doing average segs this time. And what's up, man? How you doing, by the way? Switch is not counted as this gen. Oh, I guess it's going to be rolled into the next gen whenever that comes out. I don't know. I guess like the Switch is kind of in its own generation. Yeah, or you can just download more RAM, as Sika mentioned. Skip the lines, just download the RAM. Yeah, definitely, Taro. Hopefully we can keep it up. Hopefully we can keep it up and keep the good times running. Does the polar bear have a name? Yes, and it's called Polar. I'm not kidding. The polar bear is literally called Polar. Why make it complicated when you don't have to? Yeah, it's a satire. It's basically like, you know, if somebody's like, hey, my computer I think needs more RAM, how can I get some more? And then, you know, link them download more RAM. It doesn't actually do anything. $4.7 million? Considering the shortage, I guess that's not bad. The PS4 has been out for 3 years too, keep in mind. So that definitely makes a difference. I don't think it's a virus. I think it's just like, hey, click here to download more RAM, and then it's like, oh hey, now you have more RAM, but you don't actually. It's not malicious, it's just a waste of time. Alrighty. Damn, I needed that stretch. I really did. Alright, Warp 4. Alright, cool. What if it was a malicious waste of time? I guess it depends on how much fun you had while doing it, Weekula. And yo, Sausage Original, how you doing? Indeed. We'll see if we can keep it that way. Aw, rip. I was a little bit worried that the that jump right there, that glitch high jump, was going to be a little too short, but thankfully it was enough. Do 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 ba da 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 bum 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 ba dum ba da 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 dum. Nice. A little bit of patience pays off there to wait for those flames to go away, because they do last a little bit longer than you think. Yeah, I always agonize a little bit over my math too, Juio, before I submit the time. I always like triple check it before I submit, like, is this right? Like, are we good here? Better to spend the extra time and make it more and make sure it's correct than it is to rush it and have it be wrong. You can tell like about the time period that it was created, Fairy, because the meme that they have you link you to for more info is a Rick roll. That's how you know. That's how you know the age of it. All right, on to hanging out, as a matter of fact, because we got the 2 masks. Yo, Super Spyro, thanks for the host, man. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you had an awesome stream today. What's up? Excuse me, everybody coming in from Super Spyro's stream. How you guys doing? The copyright is 2018 when it's 2017. They're probably just planning ahead, Storm. That would be my best guess. And yo, what's up, Smiling Indian? Once you've figured out the amount of loads, like once you've figured out the load times of your system, you then have to subtract the loads from your timers, like from the time on your timer, because the time that you have in live split is with loads, so you just subtract the loads from that time, and then you get your without loads time. It's pretty simple on paper, but doing math with time is weird because there's only 60 seconds in a minute, and there's only 60 minutes in an hour. So, so you have to kind of like, it's kind of weird to basically do math with 60 being the highest number as opposed to 100 usually being, you know, the number you would think of. So it's a little bit awkward if you're not used to it. Are the loads always the same amount of time? Yeah, they're very consistent. There's really not that much variability between loads on like individual runs of a game, for example. The only time it gets a little tricky is if you have an extra loading screen. Like if you have to re-enter a level, then you have to, you know, you might have to account for an extra load screen that way. Just use a time calculator? That's actually a good point. I didn't actually Google for that sort of thing. I've been basically doing my math by hand, but that would help out a lot. Yo, what's up, Cinnamon? How you doing today? Am I a Rickroll? Not that I'm aware of. I don't know, though. I could suddenly bust out into some Rick Astley at any time. You never know. Whoops. Almost went past the portal there. That's awesome, Cinnamon. I'm glad you're doing... Excuse me. I'm glad you're doing well today. He's a Chris roll. Storm gets it. No, this is Pat Chris. Fairy also bringing up a good point. What's up, Nanad? Subtracting load times after death? No, not really. Like, the screen doesn't really... There really isn't a loading screen, like a major loading screen when it comes to loading the level, because no matter where you die, you end up getting respawned basically at the same time. So that's not really a factor. Alright, sounds good, Dark Rose. Hope you have a good day at work, and thank you for the good luck. I do appreciate it. Hope you take care. Cinnamon, thank you for the host, by the way, as well. I do appreciate it. You once made a banana roll? Banana, like, roll down a hill? Or did you make a banana roll as in, like, some banana, like, bread? All right, sounds good, Zekro. We'll see you in a little bit. Whoa, that was really close to a bad thing happening. Nice, awesome, Juio. Ba-da-dum-bum. Oh, a banana roll. Oh. Okay. Now I see what you're talking about. Totally different sort of roll. Just want to make sure I didn't forget the crystal. That's something I've become like pretty hyper vigilant about since the shenanigans where I've missed crystals in the past. It's like really only Crash 2, like where I've made that mistake. I've forgotten a crystal like maybe once in Crash 3, but in Crash 2 is where I tend to forget them. Am I a banana now? I mean, if I go put on a banana suit, I could be. The problem is I don't own one. I wish though. Gotta pause the timer, pause the stream, go put on a banana suit to just for this occasion. We're past that level now, and we've been very good about remembering that crystal in particular, Mikula. So that's the good news. Whoops. There we go. If I was feeling some type of way, I might be convinced to do that one day, but don't count on it. Don't count on it. What's up, M. Conte? How are you doing, by the way? I don't think that'll happen. I would doubt that they would do that, M. Conte. Considering the original trilogy was a PlayStation exclusive first. But it definitely would be good for fans of the game in general to put it on as many platforms as possible. I personally don't have a problem with it being exclusive or put on PC either way. But it would definitely be good for gamers to not have it be an exclusive. I just don't know at this point if the Insane Trilogy will be exclusive or not. Oh, you're talking about a bug light. That was weird. That was, I think, a box stack or like a TNT that didn't off-screen properly. It was like one of those things that, it was one of those like weird things where a box should have broken but didn't, or like when I had invincibility, I got close to a box but it didn't break and I didn't notice. You know, there's a lot of weird stuff that can happen sometimes in 105 where, you know, you'll have a TNT not behave properly, or you won't have a mask or third mask form blow up a box properly. Those things definitely happen sometimes. I went back, actually. I think I backtracked that far gimmick and did not see it. So I don't think it was that box. I think it was a box that was like really far. I think it might have been a box that was really far into the level. I might have also forgotten that box. I might have also forgotten that box too. But I think that case, I don't remember if that case was the same time or if it was something different. I don't remember like which occasion it was where I may have forgotten that box. The one thing I will say though, M. Conte, that that might indicate that this game is not going to be exclusive is that it doesn't say exclusive for PS4 on the physical cases for the game. So I don't know if that's just Activision leaving their options open for publishing it on different consoles, or if that's or if that is an indication that it's going to be a timed exclusive. But there's really nothing confirmed. Like, they haven't said for sure either way that it's going to be an exclusive permanently or that it's going to be a timed exclusive. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen at the end of the day. We'll just have to wait and see. Yo, K-Dak, how's it going? Good to see you again as well. How you doing? Bum, 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 bum. Do 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 do. Ba da da. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. Do 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 do. It could just be a Sony exclusive. Like, where else would it go? Would it go on the Vita? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like where else it would go if it's a Sony exclusive. Like I said, it's either coming out to a later platform and we just don't know that yet, or Activision's leaving their options open. To, you know, I think those are the two likeliest scenarios. We'll just have to see, though. All right, so we're actually able to take 2 masks out, which is awesome. That is definitely a good sign. Does a physical copy say only PlayStation? It doesn't. And that's the one thing that has people that's the one thing that has people being nervous about it being a PS4 exclusive, or unsure, is that it doesn't actually say exclusive for PS4, which it would if it was for sure going to be exclusive. And that's why I think that Activision could just be leaving their options open, and they don't want to put that on the box and then say, oh hey, by the way, it's coming out to Xbox One and PC next year, because that would be a crushing blow to the people who thought it was going to be exclusive and bought a PS4 specifically for that. This way, you know, there's some, you know, you don't really feel pigeonholed, so to speak. I did not, Cinnamon. I'm definitely not keeping up with movies very well lately. I just haven't been as interested in movies lately. I will say, though, that Dunkirk is the one movie I think that's out in theaters that I really want to go see. I have to figure out when, though. Yo, what's going on? Guardian, Sky Phoenix, and Ninjo. How are you guys doing today? I'll get to reading your paragraphs in just a second. Yo, life is good, though, Ninjo. Life is definitely good for me. Definitely have had, excuse me, it's definitely been a good month, I would say. How's it going? How's it going with you, for that matter? Yin Yang Foxes, thank you for the host as well. So I've heard, Sarah. I definitely like war movies, too. Just started running this and got a 150? Nice. Nice. All right, cool. So we exited engine with 2 masks. That's awesome. That is definitely what I can hope for. Dude, we all started there, though, Sky Phoenix. Definitely, definitely don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, I definitely imagine if it's on PC, it will definitely be a... Definitely be interesting to see what kind of mods and what things people do to the game. Dang, that's rough, Psycho. I'm sorry to hear about that. That is definitely no fun. Yeah, I could definitely see them doing that as well, Sky Phoenix. Like, I could definitely see them just kind of sitting back and seeing, you know, seeing if it's worth it to release it on another console. And yo, Yin Yang Foxes, how are you guys doing? What was I speedrunning before the Insane Trilogy? The original Crash games, actually. I've speedrun the original Crash 1, 2, and 3, as well as CTR and Crash Bash. And that was... So basically, I've been speedrunning Crash Bandicoot before I was speedrunning Crash Bandicoot. If you want to put it that way. Nice. PB by 30 seconds. In Crash 3, Yin Yang, I assume. Oh, geez, that was kind of close. You're feeling ballsy here. Yo, Devrick, what's happening, man? The run's pretty good. This is my first run of the day, and I definitely cannot complain with the pace. Hopefully we can keep it up, though. Nice, congrats, Yin Yang. So what's the time without loads? It's okay though, Psycho. You'll get home soon. 55:31, nice. I think my time is like a 54 or something without lows. I think it's like a low 54, so you're definitely getting a lot closer. And that's awesome, Ninja. I'm glad you're doing well. He aims for the same platforms in the original game, Generic Streamer. In the Insane Trilogy, that's is now RNG. He goes to the center platform every time for his first hit. After that, though, it is random. Sometimes he goes to the right, sometimes he goes to the left, sometimes he goes to the left and then goes back to the center, sometimes he goes to the left and then goes to the right. So it can be, there is some RNG there at the very end of the boss fight that wasn't there before. So hopefully I can make it through to the next mask with this second mask here. That would be really nice. Well, I know 100-degree heat is definitely not fun, Psycho. I think you'll make it, though. Yeah, that was a thing I did not expect them to change, and I didn't notice it at first because the first time I did the engine boss fight, I was like, okay, this is exactly like the original. And then I did my first Crash 2 any % run, and all of a sudden he did something different. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And then the next time I did the boss battle, it was something different again. So at that point, you just know it's RNG. "30 minutes in the sauna? Yo, nice, man. I'll bet you're feeling very relaxed right now. What's up, Love Baby? How you doing? I look like one of the kids from One Direction." For some reason, I was like unsure how to take that at first, but thank you. I'll take it as a compliment. I don't look that young though, do I? Let me ask you this: how old do you think I am? People who actually know how old I am, don't spoil it. I'm actually just curious to know. RNG is random number generation. It refers to elements of luck in speed games. Yeah, what's going on, Pune or Pune? I'm not actually sure how it's pronounced. How's it going? And Toxic as well. 74. 74, good lord. Oh yeah, we definitely mean Fahrenheit over here. 100 degrees Celsius is, no, it's not gonna work. 96. I could be a curious case of Benjamin Button. You never know. I could only be getting younger. What's happening, Roach, by the way? Hope you've been well, man. Uka does not approve this message. I didn't know he was running for a political role. Okay, so to those of you who answered 74, you are wrong. Those of you who answered 23, you are also wrong. 25 is correct, though. I am actually 25. Quarter of a century. 104.41? Oh, is that Reki? That's awesome. Congratulations. How much did that beat the old one by? I think, was it like 30 seconds or something? Conte is on top of that next level, though. He's on top of that next level. That's a pretty good margin, though, Roach. Regardless, and that's good that there's some mistakes in there too. That's some easy time save for next time. What's up, Miss Kelsey? By the way, how's it going? Fist bumps every 25-year-old, dude. Dude, there's the bro fist for you. I see. I guess like without a mask, you have to wait for one of the early hits, I think. Because I think I was messing that up in one of my runs, and that's part of the reason why I don't do it. That's part of the reason why I don't do it. I only do the first phase early, and I don't do second or third, is because I keep, like, dying. Yeah, I would definitely take some time to figure that out, Guardian. Yo, nice, Panda Emic, and Fairy. And Sarah, do brofist to you guys. Okay, cool. There we go. That's pretty nice, because I heard that the third phase for Entropy is awkward. So anything to improve consistency is very, very good. Do you damage boost off of like the second projectile he shoots at you, or is it different? Nice. Glad to hear things are well. Rico actually discovered the setup. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Okay, so that's pretty similar then to the strat that I heard about. It might have actually been Rico that told me about the strat originally. That's fine. That's fine. These masks are expendable at this point. Oh, you moved last week. Nice. Congratulations. Dude, think about it. You know, from my perspective, it was definitely weird too, because, you know, I moved cross country. So, you know, it felt, the entire experience just felt surreal, you know, traveling across country and moving into a new place. And it definitely felt a little weird, but also, like, it really felt like home at the same time. Like, I got settled in, like, fairly quickly. Even so, like, moving is still stressful. Like, whether you move 15 minutes away or, like, 15 hours away, it is definitely still... It's definitely still stressful and pretty difficult. Is there a Crash game where you race a UFO on a motorcycle? You are correct about that. Crash 3 is the one where you race UFOs, and that's in a level called Area 51. So that's actually the next game. We won't actually be playing Area 51 in this run because it's an any percent run, and Area 51 is a secret level. So we technically don't need to access it. Yeah, definitely. A lot of packing and unpacking. Yeah, our furniture is supposed to get here very soon, so we're going to be doing some more moving work. The good news is that we have a moving company that's been helping us. So they'll actually be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, but we're still going to have like our boxes that still need to get unpacked and like, you know, basically go through, make sure everything's okay, not damaged. So there's still going to be some hassle afterwards. But then once we finish that part of settling in, like we're done. You know, after that, it's not a big deal. You're moving home soon too? Are you currently... So, like, are you going to school currently, or are you just moving back home for the time being in general? What happened in the meantime? Good things happened, Zekro. Had a really strong Warp 4 and awesome Warp 5. This is, like, pretty much perfect at this point. First on PlayStation, but only been released on PC? Well, if it's only on PlayStation, it should be only on PlayStation, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding correctly. Spin the boxes to get the furniture out. Yeah, there you go. Put some of the crash knowledge to good use. Oh, I see. I see, Virtual. That's pretty exciting. I can definitely tell you that it was very exciting to move in with my girlfriend as well. Feels good to close the gap, especially because we were long distance for so long. Wow, that has to be a PB in Crash 2 by a big margin. That was like the Crash 2 run of my life. I'm not gonna lie. Like, aside from some like Warp 3 shenanigans and some minor and some like, you know, a couple of accidental deaths, like that was awesome. Like that was a